Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background, and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy: How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is about the romantic compatibility between INFJs and ISFPs. Many people ask themselves the question, who is best matched romantically when it comes to MBTI personality types, which really has to do with brain types. So I think it's important to explore this topic. So let's first look at what INFJs and ISFPs have in common. First, they are both introverts. So in other words, they get recharged usually by being alone or with only a few close friends or family members. The other aspect is that they're both feelers. So it means that they are right brain dominant, and these are the type of people who tend to be compassionate. Some people might think that ISFPs are intuitives. It is because, first of all, they are right brain dominant and they have introverted intuition as their third function. So, in other words, they are the most intuitive of the center perceivers, but in fact, they are not. Now, when it comes to areas where they might have issues, first has to do with the theme of their lives. So, INFJs have spirituality and meaning in terms of what is the driving force of what they are interested in life and their overall goal, whereas the ISFPs are about freedom and movement. I mean, it's not to the degree of, let's say, an ESTP, but you'll see that INFJs won't be interested in, let's say, starting a business or being an artist or, entertaining people, but ISFPs will. Although they're the type of people who won't be often in the limelight, they'll be like behind closed doors. So in other words, they like doing the art, but not so much doing the promotion or being the center of attention. They're usually not like that. The other aspect is that although they're both feelers, one is an extroverted feeler. So the INFJ has extrovert feeling as its second function, and the ISFP has introverted feeling as its first function. So what may happen is that the INFJ basically is focused on harmony, and so they really want to bond when it comes to their relationship. So they are about being connected. An INFJ will be easily reachable, very reliable. These are people that you can really count on, whereas the ISFP is not like that, because the person who has introverted feeling as its first function is more interested in being authentic. So you'll see that the ISFP is not usually very reliable or reachable. What's interesting with the ISFP is that they're the type of people who may demand from a partner to be accessible, reachable, reliable, but they will not reciprocate. So the person might find there's an imbalance there. So the INFJ will soon realize that they cannot rely on the ISFP, but the ISFP will be able to rely on the INFJ when it comes to, let's say, not only in case of emergency, but even for day-to-day tasks. So the INFJ will find that he or she has to do most of the logistical work on their own. The other aspect also is that the INFJ tends to have a long attention span. So compared to the ISFP, I mean, it's better than, let's say, a center perceiver who's a thinker, who's really very much is more impatient. Let's say like the ESTP or even the ISTP. But if you compare them, is that the INFJ is very focused on like each person they talk to or they spend time with, but the ISFP has a shorter attention span because of the fact that this personality type is a center perceiver. The other aspect as well is that the INFJ is the type of individual who likes a lot of abstract thought, and especially the fact that the INFJ not only can talk about, let's say, relationships and let's say metaphysics and things of the sort, but is also very much interested in math and science, because the INFJ has introvert thinking as its third function. But what happens is that the ISFP is not like that. The ISFP has extrovert thinking as its fourth function. So what happens is that the ISFP will not be able to understand certain concepts or certain ideas that the INFJ likes to explore. And also is that when they say they have a conflict, the INFJ will come across as a lot more logical than the ISFP. So the ISFP might say to the INFJ, you're too logical, or you have to you sort of not be so particular about facts. But the INFJ will feel that the INFP is just illogical. So what is kind of interesting when it comes to feelers is that they're not all illogical, quote unquote. So you'll see differences, and even though they're both feelers, they might have an issue when they have, let's say, a problem to resolve, and the INFJ will probably be the one who's more logical than the ISFP. Consequently, I would say that the INFJ and the ISFP are not a good romantic match because of the fact that the theme of their lives is different, their organizational style is different, one is more logical than the other, and I would say that if they have, let's say, an issue, they have a problem in terms of one looking at it more logically than the other. But I think that they could be good acquaintances, they might do some activities together, and also the fact that the ISFP has good energy, so the INFJ can spend time with this personality type and be fine. But I would say that they would not fare well like long term as a romantic partner for each other. To summarize, I would say that they have some points of compatibility, but overall, this is not a type of couple that would last a long time, because the INFJ wants to connect, wants to be able to have a very reliable, reachable, even logical partner, someone to explore abstract thought, and even in terms of someone who will understand math and science and things of sort. And the ISFP is not really designed for that. So the ISFP might find that the INFJ may be too demanding. They might feel even judged by the INFJ. So I would say that, again, they could be good acquaintances, or they could be, let's say, do activities together here and there. Let's say go see a movie, or even they might be interested in the arts as well, because the ISFP tends to be the artist. So that they'll have in common, but not, I would say, as romantic partners. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this romantic compatibility analysis of INFJs and ISFPs by commenting below. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.